Hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
Hey y'all!
Hey y'all, Tom here, ND3N, just like it says on the hat. And thanks for dropping by my little shack in the corner for a Ham Shack chat. This time, we're going to take a tour of Ham Radio Deluxe, also called HRD, which can also stand for the Houston Roller Derby. In this video, we're going to look at the rig control page, HRD Logger, and finally, DM780, the digital master, where we access a whole slew of digital mode. This is the Ham Radio Deluxe software download area, actually their main website, and yes, there's a link down below. To find the cost for Ham Radio Deluxe, we go over here to Buy Now and select that. For a digital download, which I assume is what everybody's going to want to use, the initial cost, if you've never installed HRD, is $99.95. Then there's an annual subscription renewal that is $49.95. Both of these will give you full access to HRD, full access to the customer service and technical support area, and any new upgrades to HRD that come out in that year.
Wait, there's more.
You can try it for free. Back on the main page, we see that there's a try it for free selection. So let's see what that's about. For 30 days, you can have HRD on your computer, full HRD on your computer, and play with it for 30 days, again, free, no charge, no strings attached. If after that 30 days you decide you like it, well, then go back to the Buy It Now page and pay your $100. If you decide you don't like it, well, that's what the uninstall feature on your computer is for. Now that you have HRD installed on your computer, let's get your computer hooked up with your radio. You do this by going to your device manager, and during this time, your rig should be off, including your power supply, nothing like that. So go to your search area, type in device manager, and open it up. Now, you'll see right here in the middle is ports, COM, and LPT. Click on the little caret in front of that, and you'll see your ports. Now, not all of these are in use, but I'll tell you right now, I have the standard serial port for my TS850 connected here under COM 14. And the way I keep track of this, once I look all this stuff up, I've taken a snapshot of what I did. I took a label maker and put in the information and slapped it on the side of my rig. So that way I can always go, and I don't have to repeat this process every time to figure out where my comms are. Now, I want you to turn on the power supply to your rig, which I'm doing right now. And you'll see this, and when it comes back up, you'll see I have now COM 3 and COM 4. I'm going to go to COM 3 and select ports. That's going to tell me I'm 115/200 bit rate. Going to verify it. It'll be the same here, but I'll verify it. Yes, 115/200. Now you should have your rig set up. Go to the menu function in your rig. Somewhere in there there'll be a bit rate setting, and you set your bit rate up if you're using the USB function of your rig, or if you have an external device like a signal link, that would come up here as well. On the more modern radios, both my FT991 and my TS890 they generate two COM ports off the USB. Some of the older rigs that have the USB will only generate a single COM port. Just be aware of that. Also, I'm on COM 3 and 4. You will probably be something different. So you want to remember that you're COM 3, COM 4, and in my case COM 14, which you'll see shortly. But you want to make sure everything is set to the same bit rate. Now that you've installed HRD and you've checked your bit rates in your device manager, we can actually start up HRD. So you go to the icon and open it up that way, and it should bring it up here quickly. There we go. Now you can see that I have, as I told you, on my TS890 I have my COM 14, which is my standard USB, or not standard serial port, and COM 3 at 115.2, which is my USB generated COM port. I do want to show you how to enter your rig. Now, everything is going to be different if you don't have what I have. So keep that in mind, but this will give you an idea of how to do it. We go to New, and I'm going to pick the FT 911 or 991A. I'm going to make sure that that rig is turned on. I'm going to uncheck RTS. I'm going to set my bit rate to 9600, which is what is appropriate for that particular connection. Now, you have some selections down here. If you've only got one rig, you can click this button right here, and that way when you start up your rig control, it'll automatically take you to your rig. The other thing is, if you got you want digital master and logbook coming up, you can click those. If you've got a beam antenna with a rotor, it will control your rotor for you. So there's that. So you could select any of these and it'll automatically bring all of those up. For now, we're going to leave them blank, so I can just show you. When I click connect, it is going to connect, maybe after a try or two, to my Yaesu FT991A, and I can tell you it's going to fail. Okay, it failed to read, and that was because I made a mistake in the logging, or the entry form. And so I'll go back and correct that mistake. It's actually COM 16. The bit rate is still 9600, and now we're going to retry it. You can see it going through the logging, and now it shuts that off and brings up my control screen. And I'm going to just quickly adjust this up and down to show you that I'm making these adjustments on my 991. And that's how you do it. So I'm going to close this out. And I'm going to click no and physically shut off my radio and the power supply, and we're going to get back into HRD. You will now see that my 991 on COM 16, which we just proved opens everything up, is now in my presets. I'm going to use my TS890 for the rest of these, so I'm going to select that one. The reason I am selecting the standard port is because sometimes I like to be running other things. Maybe I'm running WSJ-TX on COM 3. Well, you can only use one or the other. When you have two, might as well make use of both of them. I could bring it in on COM 3. I'm bringing it in on COM 14. I'm not going to check that. However, I am going to check that I want Digital Master and HRD Logbook to come up. So we're going to connect now. Much faster. And this is the rig control. Again, this is a tour not an instructional thing. I just kind of want to show you what's available, and then once you get your HRD up and running, you can come in here and check all these settings. You can adjust your frequency up and down. Just click the one you want and it'll change around for you. You can also check the slider. You can change bands. This is all your VFO information. These are all your settings that are on the front of your radio. And you got some gain settings and sliders down here. And that's all well and good. I got to tell you, I spend very little time here. The reason is I got my radio right next to me, so I can do everything on my radio. The main power of this rig control is that it becomes the brain or the communication center for all the software functions that we're going to look at. So we're going to move now and look at our logbook. This is our logbook. And another quick tour. I have put up a couple things. I have Zulu time clock here. I've got the 30-day solar cycle. You can see that we've kind of gone into a slump here, but if I were to expand it, I've got another one that'll show me all the cycles for the last few years. I've also got my gray line, and I'll be putting out a video on working the gray line. It's a great time to work. You can see right over here I do have connection back to my rig controller. I have other options that I can bring up here. If you go up here to view, you'll see that I can bring up a DX cluster and put a band map up. All you would have to do is, if you see something on the band map, you click it. It is going to bring you that point. You work them. It's going to pre-fill your log. You might have to add additional information. Here's your rotator controls. So all of that sort of stuff is here. This is just a simple overview and let you know what is there. So let's go look at DM780. Now this is DM780. Currently I have it set to BPSK 31 mode. And the nice thing about this, I am on 20 meters because I said I wanted to go there. If I click on 20 meters, you'll see that it allows me to automatically set the frequency. So I'm now set at 14070, and here is your radio control as well. And if somebody was there, I'd be seeing some information pop down here. But I'm not. But well, here's somebody on the band right there. So let's see if we can decode them. So that's W7NRK. He's calling CQ. So that's basically how you do it. You'll see this falling down. Another cool thing is the super sweeper. So I'm going to bring up the super sweeper. Here it is. And I'm setting it up for BPSK. And what will happen is, you see, here's another frequency. Here's another guy coming in. This guy's here. And you'll see it eventually pick up and start to decode over here. So you'll see what's actually on those things. We'll go back to the regular page. Now, two things you want to check in your program options. First is your push-to-talk method. For me, on the 850, it's actually just let Ham Radio Deluxe control it. Were I using my FT991, it would be via the serial COM port. So I would put that information there. The other thing you want to do is make sure you got the right sound cards in there, and so make sure your codecs are showing up here. There are a lot of things. I have some things right up front. I've got my CW win key, CW using the K1EL keyer, and if I were to do that, it brings up my win key, And on the TS890, it is on COM 13, so it's already there. I've already auto-connected, and I can go through and select how I want my heater to work. I've also got, where am I? Oh, here we go. I've got RHD, which I can do. I've got BPSK 31, which I opened with. And I've got BPSK 63. Now, the rest of these are all pull-ups. These are gives me all my different flavors. So say I wanted to do PSK, but I wanted to do BPSK 125. I could do that right from here. I could do the same thing with Contestia, Olivia, all of these. And I'll show you how I did that. You click over here under modes, and you'll see this pops up. And I want to actually spread this out. You can see that I have selected CW WinKey, RHD 45, BPSK 31, and 63. So that's all of them. But here are all the different programs or waveforms that'll work with you. Now the other one where I'm showing you the pop-ups, these are my selections. So I have selections for everything. So that's how you get into the different modes. And that's it for DM780. Now we're back on the main page. I want to show you a couple extras. First is you have complete control over doing satellite tracking. So if you've got a satellite system, a satellite antenna, this is here. And wait for it to come up. So you can see I'm looking at AO95, and you can look at it. This is the satellite track. I can save the track. So let's say I wanted to do a 4-hour track. There you go. So those are all the tracks. So you can actually work satellites. Up in here, I can't do it on my 890, but my FT991A will tune up on all modes in UHF and VHF, and this will control those. It'll also take care of like the Doppler shift that happens when you're doing satellites. So that's something you can play with. The other thing I wanted to show you was slow scan TV. So for that, we need to go over here to DM780, and you'll see you have slow scan TV up here on top. I'm going to select that. Now if you have the MMSSTV plugin, it's kind of like MMRTTY, you can use that here, or right there. However, it's got a good display built in. Now it's been a while since I actually used slow scan TV, but you can see this is what you do. Now if I were to want to, I could double click that. It would go up here and I'd be calling CQ. You tune it to the appropriate frequency. Around 14230 is a good frequency. So you can do that, and this will actually send this picture. It takes 20 to 30 seconds to send a picture, but then somebody will come back and send you a picture. And it's a very slow but very fun way to exchange pictures. And you can build up your own pictures, put your own pictures. If you want to have a picture of your dogs, or a picture of your motorcycle, or a picture of you on the beach, whatever you wanted, you could exchange those pictures. So, in summary, I've showed you how to download HRD. I showed you where you get a 30-day free copy, and then I showed you how to check out your rigged computer connection and how to start up HRD. Then we looked at the rig control page, the logger page, the DM780, the digital master page. Also looked at satellite and SoloScan TV. And now we're here. I hope that you've got some information out of it. Maybe it's piqued your interest, or at least maybe you now are completely uninterested and you will never touch HRD again. I'd like to invite you to take a look at this right here. It's a video that I produced where HRD Logger connects to WSJT, and we've also thrown in a little grid tracker in that, so you could see how interconnected it can be. And please give me a like, share this with your friends, and leave a comment down below. 7 3s for now. I'm Tom, ND3N, and I'm out.